Bo Nix finally got a viable weapon outside of Cortland Sutton on this offense. And Broncos country, we should be thrilled with the arrival of Evan Engram. He's looking fresh too, man, in that number 1 jersey. I like it. I hope he doesn't change it. I think number 1's going to look good on him because Traymon Smith was sitting there holding that number hostage. So now we have a great opportunity to have him rocking it out. But guys, we're going to talk about Evan Engram. We're going to go over some film today. We're going to talk about why he's such a good fit, not just for Bo Nix, but also for Sean Payton and this entire offense. And it's really one very, very critical piece as to what's been missing to make this offense be a lot more functional and to help Bo Nix really take another step to the next level. Going into his second year in 2025. Appreciate it, guys. Like and subscribe if you're not already. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you love Denver sports stuff, if you love the NFL draft, I think you're going to love the channel, man. So come join me for the ride. Let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, guys, before we get into anything, let's do this. Let's talk about what I tweeted yesterday. Is some numbers that I had found that I thought were extremely interesting. Right? Evan Engram in his entire career has caught 70% of the passes thrown towards him, which is solid. It's not like unbelievable, but it's very, very good. But 51 of those passes were either for a first down or a touchdown. And just to give you an idea, his quarterbacks were Eli Manning when he was completely washed, Daniel Jones when he only had really one good season, Mike Glennon, Jake Fromm, and a slightly overrated maybe Trevor Lawrence. But, you know, even if you don't feel like he is, he had by far and away his best years of his career with that man. So pretty crazy stuff. And it's exactly what the Broncos need because we struggled to get first downs. We struggled a lot last year to sustain drives. Not having a very good run game doesn't help that for sure. But really, a lot of these guys, the players that he had around him, struggled so much with separating. They really did. They struggled with getting open, even against some really, poor defenses. They just weren't really able to get open very often. Now, as the season went on, they got a lot better because Bo Nix got a lot better. And a lot of the times we were able to convert on those, drives that were, in the past, it was like, if it was first and 15, it's a 3 and out. Second and 15 is definitely 3 and out. But we were able to convert a lot of those because there was times where Bo was able to either make plays happen with his feet, extend a little bit, and be able to find some guys that get open. But generally speaking, guys were not able to get open really quickly. The quick, short passing game wasn't always there. And Sean Payton does a good job of dialing a lot of plays up. But if things aren't executed properly, as they weren't, then guys just aren't gonna get open. And so this is huge for that. For the Broncos to be able to get into a rhythm offensively, take control of the game, control the clock, win the time of possession, something that was a huge thorn in our back all year last year. So I'm super excited about it, man. And it gets you thinking, do the Broncos even need Cooper Kupp, right? We are in the mix. A lot of people are talking about it. I'm a huge fan of the move being made if we do get him, obviously. So it's not going to change any of that. But there's a lot of things that Cooper Kupp does, especially that he was asked to do under Sean McVay, that he'd probably be asked to do here, that Evan Engram was too, man. And I think you guys will be able to see this really, really quickly. So let's just dig right into it, all right? Cooper Kupp right now, he's at the bottom of the screen, all right? And my little pointer here, I guess, doesn't work when I'm sharing my screen. So you're just going to have to bear with me. But he's at the bottom of the screen. He's lined up against this safety. Oh, sorry, this cornerback. And just his ability to be able to stretch the field. I mean, when's the last time we had seen a tight end of ours be able to do this? I mean, we didn't even have a lot of receivers that can do that. But bang, let's run that back real quick. Sorry, he's at the bottom of the screen now. He's coming in motion, number 17. So you got him lined up in the slot, matched up against the linebacker. Double move, quick, easy peasy, catch the ball. Not a problem, moving forward. All right, here, we'll let this one run. We'll talk about it again. Again, going deep. Now, this one he's lined up against a corner. So sorry, I confused the two. He's lined up on the bottom of the screen. One-on-one against the corner. Straight, just running a go route, go up and get it type of ball. So the versatility there, let's pause it there real quick and just talk about the versatility. For a tight end to be able to do that, it's not just like, oh, he's super athletic and there's big wide receivers or maybe Devon Bailey can do that. The thing about it is that throws defenses for a loop because defenses now, they're not like if it was a wide receiver, they would always have, one of their top corners on them, maybe a safety help over the top to be able to take advantage of that. When it's a tight end, they don't always get that kind of respect because they don't think they're going to be able to stretch the field that much. And once you're able to put that on tape, you can mix it out and draw things up for different people. You can be a lot more versatile in your play calling, which is why that's so important. And so even in those situations, one, he was on a linebacker, he's going to win those a big majority of the time. But the other one, he was on a corner with no safety help. One-on-one, throw it up, let him go get it. You got to love that matchup. You really do. All right. So getting back into this, a simple tight end screen, something that Sean Payton really loves to run. He likes to run this to receivers more because we don't really have any tight ends until now. But check this out. A nice little catch. I mean, and listen, is it anything that unbelievably special when you look at it? No. First of all, the Broncos, it's not like we were sitting there having the highest expectations and it's been really bad. But just this, the little nuances of it, right? To be able to run this, to catch, right? Heading upfield, foot in the dirt, and he's just going upfield and running and ramming right through people. I mean, and look at the way he's finishing that. You got to love that. And like I said, when you can use a tight end to do a lot of receiver stuff and to do a lot of tight end stuff, it's going to be super helpful. Nice little simple out route there. Oh, that was really quick. What the hell's going on here? Go back a little bit. Bottom of the screen lined up against he ends up actually getting covered by Justin Reed, who's the safety there in the box. Kind of creeps up, quick little out route, boom, catch, good separation. Got to love that. Another one of these, just, this is more of a mesh concept, right? And Sean Payton loves to run this. He does. There was so many times I've seen this being run. My bad. So you see this being run, the fake, the turn. Bo Nix got a guy in his face. He usually ends up dumping it off into the flat, and it happens so many times either to Javonte or to Kroll or to Troutman, and they catch it and they pretty much get tackled right away. But you got this guy flying across the field, big target, being able to have some yak ability. And yes, there was nobody on the other side, but man, oh man, did he just leave whoever the hell was trailing him in the dust. I mean, he absolutely cooks him. Just wide open. Look at that. Look at that separation, catching the ball. And turning the Jets on. This guy ran a 4.4, by the way, at the combine. A 4.4. That is not a slow man. He had the same 40 time as Troy Franklin, just to give you guys an idea. All right, this one I slowed down a little bit for you guys because I think it'd be helpful. I probably should have done it for all of them, but. Oh, that one was totally a complete accident. It was supposed to show Evan Engram blocking. Well, my bad. Things happen, guys. I don't edit my videos, as you can tell, so you just get all the raw content. But that was going to be him showing a little bit of ability to block and his run blocking ability. I mean, there's really not a lot of film out there on it because they just really didn't ask him to run block a lot. But his ability to pass block is actually really good. They ran surprisingly a lot of, wide receiver screens, tight end screens, pitch outs to, some of the backs or some other tight ends in Jacksonville. And he did a really good job of just clearing it out, putting his shoulder and his body into somebody. He's got the frame to be able to do so. And you can tell he doesn't shy away from it. They just didn't ask him to do it a lot, but that's not what he is. He's a big slot tight end that can create an array of different mismatches. And now when I think about that too, you think, okay, he's going to be able to work the middle of the field, the short to intermediate routes. He's a first down merchant. He's somebody that can just be a great security blanket for Bo Nix. But what does Bo Nix do best? Bo Nix is the kind of quarterback that throws across the middle of the field in the short to intermediate the best. That's his strength. That's why I loved him so much as a prospect, because a lot of the times when a quarterback is transitioning from college to the NFL, that's where they struggle a lot. They're not always comfortable throwing across the middle. And if you're Russell Wilson, you never really were comfortable doing that, right? So a little stray there. So that's one of his strengths. And if you look at all of the explosive throws that they've had this year, it was deep intermediate in the deep in routes, the cross the middle drags that got some yak. And it was typically to Vele and typically to Sutton, obviously more often to Sutton, more than that. And that's about it. And there's a lot of other things drawn up, but it wasn't always open. To be able to have Evan Engram in his skill set, what it's going to translate to is it's going to really make the defense a lot more confused, right? Because in the past, they would just double team Sutton and force other guys to beat him. Now they don't have the luxury of doing that because they've got to be able to account for another guy like Evan Engram. If a team has linebackers that are really susceptible in the passing game, we can finally take advantage of that now consistently. I forgot which team it was, but we were going into the game and their linebackers were like ranked one of the worst in coverage. They were getting absolutely torched by everybody's tight ends when you look at it. And I typically use like the fantasy football rankings to show like how much points they give at that position, because it's really helpful to say, okay, is this team good at covering tight ends or is it not? And this was like 13, 14 weeks in. So there was some really good data. And the Broncos always struggled against those teams. Our tight ends did virtually nothing. And it's not because Sean Payton and the coaching staff didn't see that on film. It's just because we didn't have enough weapons at that position to be able to take advantage of those. So we can really exploit a lot of that. And it's going to be helpful with the play action game. It's going to be helpful with the deep passing and getting other guys involved. And I think it's really going to help with the development of somebody like a Troy Franklin, like a Marvin Mims, like Devon Vela, and then whoever other young guys that we add in this draft, because this draft class is stacked. So the addition and the signing of Evan Engram is really a match made in heaven. It was awesome because it was really kind of last minute. I didn't anticipate Evan Engram getting being available, right? We were just so focused on like the available free agents, and then a couple of other potential trade candidates like Mark Andrews, people talked about, obviously Dallas Goedert, that came out, but he just flat out got released. He made the visit. He chose Denver. He wanted Denver, and you got to love it. And I think it's a really, really great fit. Some people are saying he's not Sean Payton's Joker. Other reports are. Guys, let me tell you, we're going to put the word Joker to bed because it's super corny. But this is Sean Payton's Joker as of right now. Could he find somebody else? Certainly. But he just checks all the boxes in terms of what Sean Payton's been successful with in his past, right? What Jimmy Graham was. Jimmy Graham was a big slot receiver that played tight end that would stretch the seams in the middle of the field and just absolutely dominate. I can see a lot of that in Evan Engram. He's a phenomenal athlete. And, if he can stay healthy and continue to just be out there on the field, it's going to be really good. Now, we're not done. We're definitely not done adding to this room. I wouldn't mind if the Broncos signed another tight end, maybe a Tyler Conklin. He's still available. Bring him in and draft a tight end, or maybe draft two tight ends in the NFL draft, which I love the idea of as well. But we'll take all that in stride. But let me tell y'all, man, the Broncos are super lucky to have Evan Engram. Bo Nix is going to love it. It's going to be an awesome target for him. And I really think it's going to help to elevate this offense to completely new heights. I cannot wait to see how this entire roster rounds to form. I can't wait to see who's going to ultimately be the ball carrier and the playmaker from the backfield, and really some other guys, because I want some juice. And if you're talking about juice from the tight end position, Evan Engram is one of the best options in the entire NFL to be able to bring that because of his athleticism. So it's a huge step in the right direction. It's been an A+ free agency period so far for the Broncos. Bringing back DJ Jones, bringing back their swing tackle, even with Matt Peart, I thought it was a really solid move for how cheap it was. But then Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, two all-pro level players, at really good contract costs, like the money value is going to be there, is amazing. I think we're going to have a great defense. And, we made one offensive signing. That's Evan Engram. I think there's going to be plenty more to come, but it's kind of like everybody sits back, takes a deep breath type of moment for free agency before we continue. And we'll see how it rounds out, but it's a great step on the offense. It's exactly what we needed. I want to know, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see Cooper Kupp, right? This news could break any second for all we know, based off reports. Do you want to see somebody else? Is there a running back out there that fires you up that you would love to be able to see in free agency, right? There's not many left. Trades. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, baby. But Broncos country, get fired up. Get ready for number one, Evan Engram. That 10-to-1 connection is going to be something nice. So y'all take it easy, man. Make sure you spend time with those you love the most. Very important. And until next time, go Broncos and peace out.